Well, a YouTuber made a low-budget film, and now it's crushing the box office, and Hollywood is in utter shambles right now, because it beat out all the other movies that also played this weekend. The YouTuber known as Markiplier, I believe that's what he's called, a gaming YouTuber, decided to make a film on a game adaptation, and defeated Hollywood itself! This is what dreams are made of. We love shit like this on this channel. This guy made a movie called The Iron Lung. It made 5 times the budget that it had. It beat out Sam Raimi's new movie, Send Help. It beat out the First Lady's new propaganda film, Melania. All on a $3 million budget, when these movies had millions upon millions upon millions dumped into them. Promoted by actual Hollywood studios. This dude did it independently. He ran this shit all by himself. Wrote, directed, produced, starred in. This is a one-man ship, guys. Not literally one man. Of course, he had other people helping, you know, there's set designers, editors, all that shit, but he did it all himself. But it looks like Hollywood don't like this too much. He's been pulled off on the chart listings for box office because people don't like the idea of a YouTuber doing this. Apparently, this is a phenomenon that's happening. He was on top, #1 domestically, and then somehow he's gone, disappeared. Is he being bullied by certain people? Are there certain people within the industry that don't like that? Are there certain fans of these other movies that have been doing shit behind the scenes? Who knows? He deserves to be put back on the chart right now. Because he's beat all of them. He's beat all of them. 7 million gross, 2 million gross. He destroyed all of them. Hollywood is utterly shitting themselves right now. Now, let's talk about these other films that it was competing with. I saw Send Help by Sam Raimi with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. I enjoyed it a lot. I like these two a lot. They were great in the film. Dylan O'Brien's my guy. I've been supporting him since the days on Teen Wolf. Alright? I go back with Dylan O'Brien. I wanted him to be Peter Parker in Spider-Man, bruv. Him as Peter Parker in Spider-Man and Joe Keery as Harry Osborn, that'd be sick. He was amazing in this. Not a fan of the ending, though, of this film, I'll be honest. But the film itself I really liked. Now, people are saying, oh, well, this shows the difference. A passionate YouTuber came out and made a film. And, of course, it outdid a passionless director in a passionless industry. Now, to be fair, we can't be talking that way about Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi definitely injected passion and good storytelling into this film. I think Send Help is the better film out of this and Iron Lung, personally. This is still a massive W. Because this is passion plus a huge audience. A YouTuber was able to muster a huge audience and use that and convert it into tickets for a film that everyone can watch. Based on a video game that he's paying respect to, this is what people love. And this is an independent film. It has that independent film aura too. We're the underdog. We're not supported by the big studios, you know? Let's talk about Melania. Now listen, I'll admit right now, I cannot talk about this film that much because I haven't seen it. Alright, I have to be objective. It is a documentary about the First Lady coming out at a time where things could not be worse for the White House. And it has all the hallmarks of propaganda to it. But okay, fine. There's just no way I'm paying money to support a film like this after what's come out. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't care if you're a fan of Trump and his administration, Melania. I don't give a fuck. I have nothing against Melania personally. Kind of feel bad for her, to be honest. But there's some sus shit in that history that probably will be omitted from the film, if I had to guess. Now, out of curiosity, because I was told that this movie is doing bangers with audiences. It's doing so well financially, too. That's also a lie. Critics hate this film. Okay, fine. Critics get it wrong sometimes. A lot of critics don't like Trump, so maybe they're just hate farming. I've seen a lot of people love farming on this film, too. And that's just on the critical scene. Audience meter is 99%. That's insane. Some of the best movies of all time don't even have a 99% audience meter. Makes you wonder who the fuck is voting this. Who the fuck thinks Melania's documentary is that good? But okay, fine. Let's hear what the people actually have to say about this. We have this guy who I'm pretty sure glazes anything Trump does, but regardless, okay, let's be objective here. I am settling in for a showing of Melania and the theater is packed. Earlier, a bystander asked me if I was heading in to see Avatar, and I stopped dead in my tracks. Avatar? No, son, I curtly replied. I don't watch woke movies. I'm here to see the groundbreaking documentary about our incredibly talented First Lady. I wonder if these guys realize how cringe they are. But okay, fine. This comes off like a LinkedIn CEO's post. You ever seen some of those cringe LinkedIn CEO posts where they post about a story that never happened? The man's 2 little girls began jumping up and down in excitement, pulling on his sleeve and begging, "Daddy, you want to see Melania?" I don't think Melania is meant for kids. If they kept in half the details about that woman's life, I don't think any kid would be able to watch that film. But okay, fine. And the dad's like, but, no. He stammered, I thought you girls wanted to see Zootopia too. They're like, no. They shout, we want to see Melania. She's the most beautiful first lady ever. I don't think this is a parody account. I'm telling you, this guy really said this shit. Their father was scrambling, stressed out, and disoriented. Girls, I'm afraid you aren't the only ones who are captivated by President Trump and his beautiful wife. I said, kneeling to get on their level. Kneeling to get on their level. Virtually everyone in this theater is here for the 7:30 p.m. showing and has been sold out for days. Tears began to well up in their eyes. This never happened, guys. But I said in a hushed tone, I happen to have a few extra tickets with me. They jumped for joy and began hugging their father. He looked relieved and wiped his sweat off his brow with a smile. A lot of details that this guy's seemingly remembering. I handed him the tickets and pulled them close. Raise these girls right. Teach them to be classy, conservative women of faith. Don't let them become Meghan Markle. He hugged me and thanked me profusely. What are you going to do now? Don't worry about me, son. I told him with a twinkle in my eye, I've already got... This never happened. Can we agree on this? This never occurred. And I swear this is not a parody account. I looked at all this dude's tweets. I'm like... And there are lots of people tweeting stuff about this, about Melania. Melania is getting raving reviews. The theaters are sold out. They're running defense for this film despite it getting fucking handicap destroyed by a YouTuber. I don't think I've seen a better ratio than this. Folks, if you've seen Melania already, please no spoilers. Her husband ends up being a PDF file. Sorry guys, I'm just poking fun. You know, I'm joking. We joke over here. No defamation. No defamation. This is a comedy channel, Dave Chappelle. But I went to see what the earnings were because I go on Wikipedia to see what the earnings are. And yes, you could say, oh, Zaffi, you've lost all credibility. Wikipedia. I only go to Wikipedia to see the budget and the box office returns, and they're always accurate. But when I looked here, there's no information like that. It's like Melania has left a voice message, a speech to Americans. That was that for the first opening weekend. They didn't want to give any details about what the financial takeaway was for this film. Now today I check back. Oh, you made $7 million domestically on a $40 million budget in your opening weekend. Those filled theaters really didn't contribute to much. But okay, Zaffi, come on now, man. Come on. Be fair. It's a documentary. How many people watch documentaries? Okay, fine. It was a documentary backed by full-on studios. $40 million budget. I saw crazy marketing this week. This movie started blowing up on Twitter, Instagram. Like people, all of a sudden, a lot of marketing was dumped on this film this last week. There's another film, Jason Statham, Shelter, made $13 million on a $15 million budget. Okay, not too much better. This guy destroyed them all. This guy ran away with $20 million at the end of its first weekend, domestically. He outdid Chris Stuckman's film. Chris Stuckman's also a YouTuber that turned into a filmmaker. He's a movie critic. And he made a movie. He doesn't have that big of an audience compared to Markiplier. I think Chris Stuckman's at $2 million. Markiplier's like $13 million or something like that. But still, $6.6 million only. I guess you kind of turned a profit, but what Markiplier did is crazy. I'm telling y'all, you need to support this. I watched the film, alright? So I'm going to tell you my thoughts on it. But you need to support the film. This is a win for independent cinema. This is a win for YouTubers like me who want to go into cinema and movies one day. Degenerates, a lot of us. We have no, we don't have a background in film or acting or any of that. We just have passion and a keen insight on what people really want to see in a film. That's all. Now, I watched Iron Lung. Here are my thoughts on it. Markiplier, for someone who has not made a feature film ever, I don't even think this guy's made short films. I think he's made some comedy sketches back in the day. But this dude, who's never done this before, wrote, directed, acted, and produced it. Pretty good looking movie. Pretty cool effects. Cool atmosphere. There's a lot this movie has going for it. And Markiplier himself is good at acting, bro. I don't know if he took acting classes before this, but he's really good. Clearly he's been thinking about and planning and preparing for this role for a while. He knew he had it on lock. He knew what he needed to do, and he delivered. There's some cool visuals here that you're looking at, all right? There's some cool shots. I'm not familiar with the game, right? So I'm coming at this from a different... If you're a gamer, you probably would have enjoyed this movie a lot more than I did, but man, some of the visuals are pretty cool. Now, there is a problem with pacing in this film. Now, a lot of people will say, all right, anyone who's saying this is boring, you just have an ADHD attention span problem. That's not what it is. There is something called deliberate pacing. Here's how I break it down. There is writing for exposition, where people just either narrate something or they're having long expedition dumps with other characters explaining what the story is, right? It can be lazy. There's writing for character, right? Where a character is either having dialogue with somebody that indicates who he is without telling you too much, or a character's on his own and you learn about the character as the story unfolds. And there's also writing for suspense, maximum suspense. You're stretching out suspense from a scene of horror or a scene of thrill or something disturbing happening for as long as you can. This movie tries to do all three, okay, throughout the course of the film. But the problem is it doesn't balance all three well, in my opinion, which leads to pacing that seems a bit off. Very, very slow in the first half. In fact, I would say the first hour of this is very, very slow. It is a guy in a submarine for the most part. And I think part of it comes down to the fact, I think the story of Iron Lung just works much better as a game, probably than the movie. I can tell. You can tell with some of these video game movies that, yeah, you'd probably have worked a lot better, either a TV show or just simply as a game. As a full-on feature film, there's always a pacing issue here. So that's kind of the biggest issue with it. Beyond that, though, the final act is pretty batshit insane. The final act is pretty cool. There's a lot of eldritch horror stuff at the end, cosmic horror stuff at the end, with some of the entities that you're dealing with that I thought was cool. And I thought for a low-budget film, I thought it looks great. Looks fucking great. Eat shit, Hollywood. Eat shit. Y'all are panicking hard. Listen, even if this doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme, I think it's a massive W. Massive W, bruv. It's really funny because Hollywood and the White House really needed a win this week. And they couldn't do it. Melania was the one. Melania was like, alright, we need the perfect distraction on an entertainment level from what the fuck's happening right now. Nah, Iron Lung came in and took it all. Took it all, man. And this was like a limited theatrical run too. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what this thing managed to pull off. So guys, if you haven't seen it yet, if you're a gamer and you are familiar with Iron Lung and you're a fan, you definitely should watch this. If you're someone who's a fan of independent cinema, you should watch this. I'm going to warn you right now, it's not a perfect film. It has a lot of flaws for me. Pacing-wise, it had a lot of flaws. Not the most entertaining film in the world, if that's what you're after. But if you really care about the story and the lore of the game, then you're probably going to be more interested in this than not. So those are just my 2 cents on that. All right? Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.